Welcome to Play Digital. Today we take a look at Crysis, the PC's most hotly anticipated title of the year. You're an American super soldier dropped with your team onto an island to try to take control of an asteroid crash site. You spend the first half of the game fighting the Koreans, who are also staking a claim, and then things turn really nasty as the asteroid spawns an alien ship which proceeds to mess with the world's weather, turning the island into an ice forest in a bid to take over the world. Now the fun all starts with the mini-game that is working out if and on what settings your rig can play this, with the optional side quest of juggling your bank balance and credit cards to see if you can afford an upgrade. Not unexpectedly, Crysis is a beast. I was playing it with an Nvidia 8600 GT graphics card with the settings on high, and while it looked gorgeous, it was a bit jerky and I was only getting an average of 20 frames per second. Even some of the lip sync in cutscenes was out, so look to play this on an 8800 of some description. If you have the performance capability, this game is truly a thing of beauty. Visually, it goes so far beyond anything else out there, with the lighting and environment physics and the detail and realistically subtle variety of the surroundings really taking your breath away. I actually found myself stopping in my tracks from time to time just to take a few moments to really look at it. And the joy of all this is that far from just being eye candy, it actually looks and interacts so realistically that combined with some atmospheric sound effects and incidental creatures running around, it makes the experience of playing that much more immersive. The other excellent feature of Crysis is its very open style of gameplay. The Greek word Crysis, which is the root of our word, literally means decision, and that is exactly what you get. There are a few bits of the game that are linear, but for the most part you choose the path you take, and how, or even if you engage your enemy and complete objectives. On the larger level, this openness will mean things like getting to a rendezvous point by choosing whether you want to try to get through a Korean checkpoint on the beach, or if you'd rather go inland away, maybe facing snipers and certainly taking longer, or if you want to take your chances against the water patrols in a boat. And then at a more local level, you will need to choose how you want to engage your opponent, whether you want to sneak around for minimum contact or go in guns blazing. And this is where the nanosuit really comes into play. You could set it on strong to batter the crap out of your enemies, or use the cloak to get up close for stealthy kills, or even to just sneak past them altogether without engaging. The suit is really great, allowing a real variety of tactics and playstyles, but also not making you too brokenly godlike, as its effects have quite a limited time span before they will need to recharge. The linear bits of the game also add variety in their own way, and you'll find yourself having to adapt to zero gravity and ice. Now the AI, while not quite as razor sharp as Crytek claimed it would be, is generally pretty challenging, and you will find yourself having to use some quite tactical play. But there are times when, because of the complexity of the environment, it can be pretty dumb. Now your enemies will investigate noises and, when they know where you are, will try to flank you strategically. But if, for example, you're shooting at a guy and you suddenly throw up your cloak, instead of firing off a few shots at where you were seen just a second before, your enemy will go into an automatic search pattern that doesn't take that knowledge into account. It actually feels more like you're casting some sort of confusion spell rather than cloaking. Also, while on an encounter level there's a lot that is praiseworthy, it does actually get a little bit dull towards the back end of the game, and the overall story is somewhat lacking, as is the scripting. You really wish that they could have implemented some three-way battles or done more with the frozen environments or something, and there's a slight feel of maybe the game not having been finished quite properly. So in terms of the graphics and the physics engine, Crysis is superb, and the gameplay is solid FPS fare. But it doesn't have quite enough cohesion, imagination or excitement when you try to consider the game, particularly the story, as a whole. So I'm going to give it 4 stars. But I definitely recommend buying this title if you've got a PC that can handle it. And if you don't have a top-of-the-range graphics card and you're not running Vista, I'd say it's worth waiting until you can play it on a more hardy machine. You can leave feedback and check out our new shows every Monday, Wednesday and Friday over at the website playdigital.tv. And don't forget to have a look at our other shows over at channelflip.com.